Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're going to investigate a mystery that I guarantee every single one of us has experienced. Have you ever wondered why your brain just feels completely fried by dinner time? You wake up sharp, you're ready to tackle the world, but by 7 p.m., trying to decide between ordering pizza or making pasta feels like trying to solve advanced calculus? Well, today we are diving deep into the fascinating science of how the sheer volume of our daily choices literally alters our cognitive processing.
Let's start with a really compelling paradox. Why do incredibly smart, capable professionals suddenly find themselves making impulsive online purchases at midnight, or maybe snapping at a coworker during a 4 p.m. meeting? It's wild, right? Because you haven't lost your intelligence. You haven't magically turned into a different person. But the actual quality of your thinking has undeniably dropped. We're going to investigate a hidden biological mechanism that operates right beneath the surface of our awareness every single day.
Think about a normal day as this continuous, invisible drain on your mental battery. At 8 a.m., you've got focus clarity. Your mind is rested, you're locked in. But then we hit 1 p.m. Now you're bombarded with competing commitments, answering emails, jumping between meetings, deciding what to eat, trying to phrase a tricky text message just right. Each one of these micro moments is like a tiny withdrawal from your mental bank account. So, by 8 p.m., you hit cognitive overload. It's this progressive compounding journey from total clarity to absolute mental exhaustion. So, what's actually happening here? It's a phenomenon called decision fatigue. And the most important thing you need to know is that this is a natural, biological limit. It is definitely not a sign of personal failure or a lack of intelligence. It's just the progressive depletion of your cognitive resources caused by continuous choices and mental load. When you feel totally drained in the evening, you're quite literally hitting the hardware limits of your brain's processing power. Every single choice, even the trivial ones, like what shoes to wear or whether to swipe away a notification, costs you something.
And the hidden mechanism driving all this fatigue is your executive function. You can think of it as the CEO of your mind. It manages the really heavy lifting, your working memory, your self-control, your ability to make complex decisions. But here's the catch. The executive function is insanely expensive to run. It demands a massive amount of biological energy. And just like a physical muscle, the more you use it to filter out distractions or weigh options, the more exhausted it gets. It physically cannot run at peak capacity indefinitely.
To make this concrete, imagine your mental energy for the day as a finite pie. Every choice you make slices away a piece of your remaining self-control. Slice 1, gone immediately to routine choices, what to wear, what to eat, the route you take to work. Slice 2 gets eaten up by the hard stuff. Complex problem-solving, focused work, emotional regulation. By the time you get down to slice 3, your self-control is running on fumes. If your environment forces you to spend too much of this pie on trivial nonsense early on, there's literally nothing left for the decisions that actually matter.
This invisible mental buildup creates what we can think of as cognitive congestion. It works exactly like rush hour city traffic, but inside your head. Imagine a multi-lane highway flowing beautifully at 6 a.m. That's your morning brain. But as the day drags on, thousands of cars enter the highway, representing all those choices, interruptions, data points, and stressors. By 5 p.m., it's total gridlock. Your brain's infrastructure hasn't shrunk, just like the actual highway hasn't gotten smaller, but the sheer volume of traffic brings your forward momentum to an agonizing, frustrating crawl.
Now take that congestion and multiply it, because we live in a modern gauntlet practically designed to short-circuit our processing power. Think about it. We have smartphone notifications constantly hijacking our attention. We have the endless scroll of social media, where literally every flick of your thumb is a micro-decision to keep engaging. Our calendars are an absolute mess of competing commitments. Even buying cereal at the grocery store means choosing between 30 different boxes. Our brains did not evolve to process this unrelenting tidal wave of options.
To really grasp why this is so overwhelming, we have to talk about choice architecture. This is the intentional design of the spaces around us, both physical and digital. Retailers and app developers are absolute masters of attention economics. They know that by presenting options in a highly specific way, they can dictate your behavior. But this architecture is built for their benefit, not your cognitive battery. When an app pings you, or a supermarket puts the most profitable snacks right at eye level, they are aggressively extracting your finite mental energy.
And the real-world stakes here are massive. A fresh, morning brain will thoughtfully analyze a problem, but a depleted, late-afternoon brain gets desperate. It starts looking for the easiest way out to conserve energy. So instead of carefully weighing the pros and cons, a fatigued brain defaults to the status quo. It says no, because no is safe and requires zero thought. Or it acts completely on impulse, skipping the analysis part altogether. The exact same person, looking at the exact same problem,
We'll tackle it with high accuracy at 9 a.m. and with error-prone shortcuts by 4:30 p.m. We see the fallout from this everywhere across society. In fact, studies show that judges are statistically far more likely to grant favorable rulings early in the day or right after a meal break, but they default to the safer, negative status quo late in the afternoon. Doctors are more likely to prescribe unnecessary antibiotics at the end of a grueling shift, because explaining why they aren't needed simply takes too much cognitive effort. This is exactly why you see some high-profile leaders wearing the exact same outfit every single day. They are ruthlessly eliminating routine choices to protect their cognitive pie for the things that actually shape their organizations.
So what's the big takeaway here? Ultimately, evening mental exhaustion reflects the normal limits of human attention in a totally saturated world. It has absolutely nothing to do with a lack of intelligence. And once you have this mental model, you can start playing defense. You can intentionally redesign your own choice architecture. You can automate routines, curate your digital environments, and stop those constant drains on your executive function. By tweaking the systems around us, we can actually reclaim our focus for what truly matters.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final, kind of provocative thought about where we're heading. As our cognitive load increases, we are naturally starting to offload our choices to algorithms. They tell us what to watch, what to buy, and increasingly, even how to work. If our mental energy is strictly finite, maybe delegating choices is the next logical step in human evolution. But here's the catch. As we hand over the steering wheel just to avoid the fatigue of driving, where exactly are those machines taking us? It's definitely something to chew on the next time you let an algorithm decide for you. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive into the human mind.